The framework and regulatory procedures to encourage and support cryptocurrency assets and related instruments, a key talking point at the Grand Bahama Technology Hub. After all, Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis is convinced companies that use blockchain technology as a basis for their new products and services represent the genesis of a new wave of innovation.
There is no reason why these blockchain technology companies that have their eyes on global markets cannot have their base operations here in our Bahamas. A recent release by the Central Bank of the Bahamas on crypto assets stated that we must, enhance the sector's competitiveness without compromising the integrity and international reputation of the Bahamas or undermining the financial safety of the Bahamian households, end quote. My government is revamping our immigration policy and procedures to support our desire to attract new enterprises to our shores. We will make our immigration policy more attractive for investments. We are now considering draft legislation to create a special BH-1B visa, keeping with recommendations made by the Grand Bahama Technology Steering Committee.
The Prime Minister was at the time bringing opening remarks at Grand Bahama's second technology summit.
At this year's summit, we welcome Cisco Systems and the Cisco Networking Academy as learning partners. We are pleased to execute a memorandum of understanding with Cisco Systems, which provides a framework for the Office of the Prime Minister, along with the Ministry of Education, to explore the development of educational opportunities for Bahamians.
And as the government puts Bahamians in a position to take greater advantage of technology, Dr. Minnis recognized Grand Bahamians' enthusiasm for their island to become a technology hub.
This year, my government made the Bahamas Technical Vocational Institute, BTVI, tuition-free for qualifying Bahamian students. We have seen tremendous results from this decision. In Grand Bahama, overall enrollment has increased by some 70%. I am extremely pleased to report that in ICT courses, the increase was 97%.
The three-day summit is being held under the theme, "The Future is Now." Participants will hear from a full slate of global speakers on various aspects of current world digital transformation. The Tech Summit closes out on Friday. Meantime, the spike in BPL electricity prices has left quite a number of Bahamians in a bind. Now, the company has gone on record saying that this 22% increase is due to a hefty oil prices leading to an increase in the fuel surcharge. But President of the Bahamas Electrical Workers Union says the company, along with the government, needs to find ways to alleviate these prices. And here's what he suggests.
If I was Prime Minister, I would talk to Shell. And I would say, listen, I'm in crisis mode. You have to recognize you're in crisis mode. I'm in crisis mode. I need y'all to help me out. All right? Short term. Shell is the largest distributor of LNG and propane in the world. Leave it to them. They'll deal with it.
Now, BPL is currently in negotiations with Shell North America to provide power generation for the capital. This means that the company will eventually buy generation from the North American firm as soon as the year 2020. That said, Mr. Maynard also suggests that the public pressure their MPs to curb the climbing cost of power.
Electricity is the lifeblood of this country. Forget phones, because electricity drives everything. The internet, everything. You don't have electricity, you shut it down practically. So we need to have a cheap and a reliable supply of electricity. Right? Excuses time is over. We need to get with it.
In the meantime, the union president gives Bahamians tips on how to save on electricity.
What Bahamians need to do is take all those incandescent bulbs out of their house and put in LED bulbs. Simple. All those old TVs, throw them out. All you know is cost you money. Get LED TVs. It's expensive exercise, but I mean, you don't have to get the big TVs. The TVs are cheap, as you know. Thanksgiving sale coming up, they can do what they have to do. With the Bahamians who've been in new houses, instead of putting in electric water heaters, put in gas, propane gas. You get a big tank, you have a gas water heater, a gas dryer, and a gas stove. You need to think of ways you can do it. You need to probably think about putting a solar panel on the roof. There are things you can do. All right, get hurricane windows. For those who've been in new houses, get hurricane windows and foam insulate your roof.
Mr. Maynard was the guest speaker this afternoon for the Rotary Club of Southeast Nassau. Calling it a fact-finding mission, opposition leader Philip Davis today visited the downtown Shaw Market to speak to vendors about their concerns, some of which included being without light for over a year and the seizing and dumping of items from stalls of delinquent stall owners. But Mr. Davis argues that the backbone of the tourism industry do have their challenges and the government should understand that.
With rising costs of living, with 12% VAT, with the increase in electricity, bills are being poured upon them. And so there is this challenge that they have to work through. So one would have thought that a government who cares about people, particularly the straw vendors, who are the backbone, I say, of our tourism product today, they would be more sensitive to their cries and have a more understanding as to the challenges they're having.
Some straw vendors admitted they were in arrears, but they had no prior notice. The opposition leader argues that before taking drastic actions, the government should sit and talk with vendors one by one to understand what their challenges are and find a suitable solution.
Closing down a stall doesn't bring revenue to you. It is a closed stall. If you allow a vendor the opportunity to be in possession of the store, to at least have that opportunity to earn a living, perhaps that opportunity will come over to you where they'll be able to satisfy you. Or if you give notice to the vendors, sufficient notice. These vendors are family. They come together at times to help one another.
Vendor and activist Kevin Archer gave this suggestion on the way moving forward.
Yeah, I think there was one time when Sir Clemente, if I remember well, he let us how to function through one of the streets where we block it. We were able to sell food, straw, whatever it is, and all that stuff. And we were able to help the persons that were falling behind or whatever the case may be. So if that's something that they can think about, where we can ask, let the vendors have like a day through like a weekend through one of the through the street or on the back here, maybe with some junkanoo and have the vendors some set up on the outside. Just give us one rush, and we just take all that money, pool it, and try to help as many of those persons inside here as we can. All right, to try to erase that that long bill and all that stuff. I'm sure if you have a heart, please think.
You're watching JCN News. Stay with us.
This segment of the news was brought to you by Alive.